Hi everyone, I am so glad you're here for another episode of Ingrid's World. My name is Ingrid Paris-Hicklin. On this show, meet Marvin Powell, executive coach, keynote speaker, and digital learning expert. He's a CEO and founder of Coach Powell Training and Development and co-founder and director of education for the RoundTable and the founder of Centreville Rotary Club Community Fund Incorporated. Marvin Powell is on the Fairfax County Small Business Commission as the Sully District Commissioner. With over 23,000 followers in LinkedIn, Marvin Powell is a business champion and advocate. Well, welcome to the show, Marvin Powell. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is fantastic. I love hanging out with you, Ingrid. It's always a great time.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is great. You know, we go so far back, and so it's a joy to see you here. So tell our viewers about your education and your career.
Oh my God. It all started at Kent State University. I'm a native of the Washington metropolitan area. My father spent his last tour in the Navy here in the Washington Navy Yard and retired from the Navy at that time. And that's where I went to high school. That's where I met my bride. That's where I started my so-called professional career, I have to say, because I was a leader in my high school. I was the wing commander for our ROTC unit. And that's when I first got the leadership bug, is really starting to learn, that people, the opportunity to serve people, the opportunity to serve the community was a great opportunity. And it's funny that I won the American Legion Award for service at that time in high school. And then I won it again as an adult, which is crazy, about maybe 25 years later, after I had done so much in the community and done so much at the Centreville Community Foundation, which I am the former leader. That foundation doesn't exist anymore, but it was a great time. I had an awesome time running the foundation and getting to know people. But then I went to Kent State University, where I majored in three degrees: economics, sociology, and Pan-African studies. I learned a lot. That was a mistake, by the way. I didn't go to major in those things. I went to Kent to major in architecture. But I found out, several years into the degree that this is not what I wanted to do. And I found out that I really love people. I really love working with people. And I really loved economic development and empowerment. Those are things that were really critical to me and what I felt was important for my community and the business community at large. And I found ways to continue in that. I went into the career in financial services. And for many years, I helped people understand, how to invest in money and how to move their lives forward economically. And then I recovered myself and learned that there are so many more ways to invest and so many different things to do. And I decided to hang my hat as a coach and put up my world as a financial advisor. And I started my coaching practice maybe about 20 years ago. And now I sit on several boards and several organizations, including the chairmanship of the Fairfax County Small Business Commission. And I believe you and I met, Ingrid, when I was helping with the co-op opportunity. I remember that you were in the Office of Community Operations and Partnerships, and you did such a fantastic job. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have I feel blessed to have the opportunity to have worked with you and so many other professionals in the county. And I'm thankful for this opportunity to come on the show. So right now I spend my days and my life, really spending time working with entrepreneurs and small business leaders, showing them how to better create the professional relationships they need to create to elevate themselves into the next level in terms of their business and in terms of their lives. And it really is a passion of mine. They always say, if you can find the thing that you would do for free, you found something special. And so I found something that I would absolutely do for free all day long, every day. In fact, I do quite a bit for free. But that's okay, because I think that it's critical for people to get access to the information, to the people, to the resources they need in order to be successful. I believe wholeheartedly that America was set up literally by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs, and anything we can do to support entrepreneurship and entrepreneurism is a move towards creating what we think and what we want to have, what we call a freedom, American style. And so I think it's important for as many people as I possibly can to help, move them into higher and higher levels of freedom through entrepreneurship.
I love what you're saying and the strategies that you use. So there are probably going to be people out here who are looking, and I would say that I've always known you in the capacity that you're in now, hardworking, stick-to-itness, inspiring. And I would have to say, Marvin, you were one of the people who I wanted to bring your story to television and also show people in Fairfax County who are doing good for the community. And my goodness, you are doing good. So Marvin, what has been the key to your success?
I'm so glad you asked me that question because, I find that when you ask people that question, what has been the key to the success, they often can't articulate exactly what that has been. For me, I recognize clearly it has been the opportunity to strengthen my collaborative muscles and to teach other people how to do the exact same thing. I find that the more you work together with other people, the stronger you could become. In fact, you could become stronger than you ever can become by yourself. And so I try to do everything in collaboration with everybody else and somebody else. I always try to find people that are strong, or people that are caring, people that are compassionate about whatever area of expertise that they have or whatever they're passionate about. And I find ways to support them. I find ways to get alongside of them and strengthen their walk. And they do the same for me, which creates amazing amounts of success. Things I can't literally predict what always happens routinely for me, just because I'm open to working with anybody and everybody that's open to working with me.
Wow. So tell us about the work of an executive coach, a keynote speaker, digital expert, learning expert. What does that work look like?
First of all, it's accepting that we are all works in progress. I'm a big believer in understanding, first of all, that all of us are ongoing, continuous projects. None of us is a finished product, and so therefore I am always learning, and I'm learning for the reason to share what I learn with other people. I don't learn just to edify myself or create more opportunities for myself. I learn so that I can teach people how to do that. And so I learn with a passion that I think is reserved for people just like me. I mean, I don't want to know anything just for the sake of knowing. I want to know it so I can share it. And so that's what it's all about for me, is creating ways to identify what needs to be known, what needs to be understood, what needs to be embraced, learning it, and then sharing it as soon as I possibly can with those who need that information and that knowledge. That to me is the key to abundance. That's what's worked for me all my life and what continues to work for me, and I hope always will.
So, that it really is just wonderful how you've laid that out. Now let's switch and talk about the work of Fairfax County Small Business Commission. Tell us about that work.
So it's all about synergy. Everywhere I go, everything I do, everything I put my hands into, I want to make sure I'm creating that collaborative synergy that I talked about earlier. And the Small Business Commission is no different. I am the longest serving commissioner on the commission. And right now I'm currently in my third term, I believe, as chairman of the commission. And what's really cool about this for me is I've been selected to serve on this commission from both conservatives and liberals. So I've been, on both sides of the party, both sides of the issue, and people continue to support the things that I do because, I really care about businesses. I care about small businesses, small women-owned, minority-owned, disabled veterans, whatever small businesses we have here in the county. I care about making sure they have what they need, the services they need, the tools they need, the strategies, techniques they need. And so again, if I don't know it, I go learn it, and I learn it because I keep building more relationships and more relationships. So I become more powerful, a more powerful collaborative partner in everything I do, including the Small Business Commission, which is committed to making sure that as many small women-owned and minority-owned businesses get a fair shake at opportunities and business opportunities within the county, without the county, in and around the county. And so there are a lot of people who want to serve the small business community. It's a lot of organizations, a lot of groups, but our job mostly is to be that collaborative arm to make sure people understand where the resources are and how to get to those resources. And when there are barriers to those resources that people have a hard time finding, then we go to the Board of Supervisors and we say, listen, we need to create some kind of legislation, some kind of program, so some kind of strategy or opportunity that would make it easier access for small businesses to thrive and to be here. If certain things happen, like for instance, signage becomes an issue, or road construction becomes an issue, or something becomes an issue that is a barrier to winning for small businesses, that's our business. We want to get involved in that. We want to make sure that the county supervisors who we report to know that these are issues that we think may have a legislative solution, at least a voice that they can pay attention to. Because oftentimes entrepreneurs don't want to go to their local supervisor and complain because it might make their life difficult for zoning or whatever that is. They can come to us and we can take that complaint to the Board of Supervisors directly.
Yeah, I just love your passion and really seeing that, small business is key, to our growth and development. How did you get involved in Small Business Commission? How did that, and now you're as a chairman, how did you get involved?
As I said earlier, from college, I was always passionate about economic development. I was always passionate about economic empowerment specifically. And so as a result of being a financial advisor for so many years, I began to meet business leaders and entrepreneurs who needed to do more than just make investments, because they were already making an investment in their business. And I was basically helping them make investments in other things in order to diversify their portfolio. But I realized that their biggest investment is their own business. And so if we can teach them how to invest in their business correctly, then we will have done even better job. Now, of course, the companies that I work for didn't necessarily like that, because they wanted to make sure that money was invested in things that they control and things that they are honoring. So I really had to, have a sort of come to Jesus moment with myself and go, what? Who are you helping? Are you helping the companies that you work for, the investment houses, the insurance companies, or are you helping the small businesses that you want to support? And I realized that the real passion for me was around directly helping the small businesses and helping them to find ways to grow, whether they want to grow that business into something that they want to sell to someone else, or they want to grow that business into something that they want to create a legacy for themselves and their families. I think either way, these things are important. And the better they are at making that transition from whatever transition they want to go to, I love to be a part of that process, because I want to see them be able to create enduring legacies that far outlast.
Wow, that's powerful. So you really see the benefits. So a person's out there saying, I really want to get involved. What's the kind of steps that I need to take to start partnering with the Small Business Commission?
So first of all, because we're a public commission, everything we do is open and accessible to the public. Wow. All you have to do is go onto the Fairfax County government site, go into the small business section of that site, and you'll find us, and you'll find ways to engage in our meetings. You'll find ways to come and visit us. You'll find ways to register complaints if you need to, or anything you want to do. If you want to reach out to me personally, you can text me at 703-201-4267. I'll make that available to everybody, because I think that, again, access is really what it's all about. Access to the help you need when you need it. And there's so many people who are out there ready to serve, but we don't often avail ourselves of the tools, the free tools and the opportunities that are there for us to have access to, information, more importantly, relationships.
Wow.
With the right people.
And then the benefit, what's the selling point that, someone's out there and saying, what, do I need to make time for this? What's the selling point of why they need to be active with the SBC?
So it goes back to, what I said earlier. Everyone is stronger when they have partnerships, when they have friends, when they have associates, people that are willing to, be in the trenches with them. Everyone is made better when they have that. They feel safer. They feel like they can take more risk or more calculated risk in a way that makes sense because they have a tribe. Entrepreneurship is a lonely thing. Especially in the way we tend to think of it in the Western world, we think of it as something that we got to do by ourselves. We got to do it my way or the highway. It's always about me, 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 me. But really, if you think about it, you build a good business, it should be a legacy. It should be something that blesses so many other people other than more than just you and your family or nuclear family. It creates jobs, it creates stability in the community, it creates careers, and creates so much more opportunity than just whatever the product or service that you're selling. And so just finding those relationships and finding ways to create those collaborative partnerships is key to enduring success.
Wow. So what advice do you have for a person that is interested in pursuing your field? They say, you know what, I really love what he's doing. I want to try to, do this in my own world. What do you say?
This is key because I did a research project before I decided to be a coach because I really didn't want to do it. I thought it was soft. I thought it was kind of girly. And I know that's horrible to say, but I really thought, because I see myself as an engineer, I see myself as an accountant type, really focus on the details and the numbers and all this emotional touchy-feely stuff. That's like not for me, right? When I first started, that's so much what I thought about it. But as I started to get involved with what it really takes to motivate and liberate ourselves from the shackles of our own minds sometimes, I realized that it takes people who care about you in order to help you dig a little deeper and find those spaces and places where there might be fear and hesitation and doubt, and to release that opportunity for you so that you can move forward in your life. Because a lot of us get to the point we get beat down by everybody telling us no, or the negativity that's all around us in our communities. And you need that coach, you need that entrepreneur, you need that somebody who is going to stand beside you and go, it's okay, you can do this. I'm going to walk with you through this. I'm going to help you get to this. Now you got to have that kind of care when you really get this thing started. If you're going to be a coach, I would suggest that you figure out what it is that you're passionate about, who it is that you're passionate about, and then decide to listen to those people and that segment of the market and find out what they really, really need. When I did my studies on entrepreneurs, I knew a lot because I was already, working with so many of them. But I realized even more so that they need people who are willing to go to bat with them and structure things, help them figure out how to structure the right relationships. Because everybody says, well, you need an accountant, well, you need a lawyer, well, you need, some marketing professionals, and you need to hire all these people, and you need to do all these things. And quite frankly, yeah, you do, but you need to know how to make these choices. You need to know how to choose. How do you invite somebody on to your advisory council? Right. How do you choose? How do you select them? How do you then go about the business of creating that relationship? And that's what I found is the most important thing, because studies now show that over 83% of all of our success has nothing to do with our competence. It has everything to do with the people who know our competence. And so if people don't know that you're talented and you're gifted and you're special and you've got these great ideas and you can do these wonderful things, then they're not likely to trust you. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's about trust. And being able to create trust and be able to engineer trust is something that I think all of us need to do much better than we all do.
Very important. So how do you stay motivated? Because that's, you're an entrepreneur, but also how do you keep motivated? How do you keep that engine going?
Every day I get to play David and Goliath every day. There's always an overwhelming amount of negativity coming at all of us, especially now during COVID-19 and during the pandemic, right? We're all facing so many difficult barriers. And I get a chance to wake up every day, face my demons, and look them right in the eye and say, you're not going to win today. Today is my day. today is my day, because I know I got an army with me. I got a whole bunch of people that, I'm not facing anything by myself.
Wow.
Right. And so when you have that kind of faith and that kind of belief in the people that you love and people that care about you, there's not too much that for you to be upset about or whatever difficulty there is, you're going to face them together, and you're going to be stronger because you're together. Again, that's that collaborative muscle I was telling you about. So
wow.
I look forward to every day, because I get a chance to take a break every day, all day, while everybody else is hustling and scrambling and so on and so forth. I got a strong team. I got strong people. I got people that, will always lift me up, always support me.
Wow.
And I keep renewing those people and finding newer people to bring the level up even higher in terms of
nice.
What I'm able to do and how I'm able to perform. I teach people all the time. There's a difference between productivity and performance.
Okay. So there's productivity and performance. What's the difference?
Well, productivity is something you can plan. Productivity is something that you can literally execute with your strategic, processes and so on and so forth. But performance, that comes from someplace completely special. That comes from someplace that's so uniquely you, that's so dependent on timing, that's so dependent on alternative forces. Some people will say God, I'll say the universe, I'll say, whatever you believe in, but it is totally dependent on, a power outside of yourself in order for you to reach high levels of performance. And if you can reach high levels of performance consistently, well, I don't know anything that's more righteous than that.
Wow, well, that's inspiring. So I must ask you this question, and because have you ever faced any roadblocks, and how did you get around them? It's hard to imagine anyone blocking you, but
unfortunately, as a former military officer, I was trained to see roadblocks as challenges.
Okay.
And so every challenge can be overcome if you have the right resources.
Oh.
And so as long as I can find the resources to overcome any challenge I have, then it's just another fun thing to do for me. I don't get bogged down in the negativity and the places where that I can't. Unfortunately, my mother met me when I was very young, and she told me that you can do anything that anybody else has ever done. So that means that all of history, whatever anybody else has ever achieved or accomplished, surely I can accomplish. Because not only am I armed with what I bring to the table, I'm armed with the history of what they brought to the table, whether it was bad, good, or whatever. I know their failures, I know their weaknesses. And so for me, all I have to do is overcome the things that they had to overcome, and I can add my unique specialty onto it, and guess what? Everything works.
Wow. So there are going to be people out here who, what would you say to our viewers? What words of inspiration do you have for our viewers?
That's a fantastic question. What I think is most important for people to know is to always, always be positive, bring excellent energy into everything that you do, and make sure that you look at other people as an opportunity to help them shine. If you do that every day, all the time, in every walk of your life, you're going to make a positive contribution. You're going to be doing the most meaningful, specific, and interesting things that you could possibly do.
Well, you're doing it because I'm telling you, you're empowering, I think it's going to be this show that people are going to keep playing over and over. And I just tell you, I can just keep listening to you. Les Brown, spoke it into existence. You made it happen. And I have to thank you, Marvin Powell, for being on the show and sharing with us the work of Fairfax County Small Business Commission. And congratulations for you being the chair. It's fantastic. I am sure your interview will inspire many to get involved with the Small Business Commission. My inspirational quote is from Barack Obama. 98% of all American companies have fewer than 100 employees. Over half of all Americans work for a small business. Small businesses are the backbone of our nation's economy. We must protect this great resource. Thank you so much for watching Ingrid's World television show. Connect with me on Facebook at Ingrid's World and Twitter and Instagram at Ingrid's World VA. And yes, if you miss an episode, you can find me on YouTube at Ingrid's World LLC YouTube channel and ingridsworld.org. Thanks for watching.